took a long time for me to realize that many parents never spoke about what they wish for their children. During pregnancy and even after birth of the child, they live their everyday life, which is very stressful with a newborn. They have to learn everything, but they almost never sit down and talk about what they want to contribute to this child, to the upbringing of this child, to the child's joy of life, to the child's optimism in life, to the child's trust in the parents, in the extended family, in life and in the world as such. It's very rare that parents talk about that. When I invite them to look at each other and to say, look, did you ever tell him or tell her how grateful you are for the gift? It was a gift from your partner that this child could be born. And this sets people thinking. And this gratefulness, you can celebrate it every year. You can celebrate it on Mother's Day. You can celebrate it on Father's Day. The important thing is your child knows my mother and fathers are happy about my existence and they are grateful to each other. And gratefulness prevents hatred. I try to change the approach with parents. It helps a lot to make them understand. I have a single interview with each parent. I go to their own biography, which is very important, to ask them, how did you grow up? What was your relationship with your father, with your mother? And I do this with both parents. We transfer patterns, relational patterns, patterns of how we deal with conflict, how we solve problems. It's all inherited. We learned it from the model of our parents. They become conscious of what they learned in their family. And oftentimes they realize that the actual conflict they have in their own family dates long time before they even knew each other. And that helps looking at their situation in a totally different way. I mean, being a parent is not easy at all. Not only the children have a developmental task, but the parents as well, each of them for himself, and the two of them together as a couple, as parents. This normalizes, takes off the heat, and especially it takes off the adversarial thinking. And put yourselves next to each other. Look into the same direction. In that direction, now visualize, see your children. Your children are suffering. Now you please point both into the same direction and speak. We created a problem. Now we have to solve this problem together. And these things, it changes a lot. My desire for parents to get the necessary information for being a parent. Where do you get them from? They don't have it. They are never more open than during the pregnancy, during the first pregnancy. And the hospital offers one evening or even 2 evenings to teach them in breastfeeding and in changing the nappies. In these techniques. That's all well and good, but everybody will learn that. What I wish to be added is that the parents are taught about the needs of a newborn child, focusing on the attachment, on the emotional needs. We have special clinics for babies who scream day and night, Schreikliniken. This was not heard of about 10 or 20 years ago. And I relate this to a general stress in our entire society. how society, neighbors, family can contribute to avoiding this, to avoiding the problems. And that means, in the first place, information for parents. What does your baby need? Your baby needs parents who are calm. How can parents be calm when they are safe, when they have enough money to live on? The exorbitant cost for rent, to rent a place, and forces them to work both. Very soon, pre-kindergarten care starts earlier and earlier and earlier. But the needs of the kids are different. They need a safe, secure, affectionate attachment. They need this security. They need this affection to feel welcome, to be able to develop quietly, not to have to get up in the morning, to be taken out of their cradle, dressed, and then be put in some care of strangers. Even the nicest educators, they are strangers. And the knowledge about the attachment system, the knowledge about the needs of children in case of separation of the parents, it needs to be communicated very early so that parents don't even get the idea, well, we are going to separate. We can separate as a couple. We cannot separate as parents. So we better get advice or talk about how we are going to arrange that. We absolutely need to change the school system to add life competencies. They would know that problems are normal, problems are part of life, and there are many means to solve them. And children express themselves very well when they suffer. They tell you about the pain, how much fear they have, how terrible it is for them. They give you the solution they dream of. They say, I want him, I want her to realize how much he hurts me. And I want him to do something to stop this. She needs to stop it, and she needs to apologize. How should children who had a loving relationship with their mother and father before the separation, how should they get to the point to say, I don't want to see him anymore, I don't want to see her anymore? I mean, it's not logical. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't. And little kids are very cooperative, and they love their parents. For me, children have a right to a funny, loving, colorful childhood. And that's what I want for children.